We are coming to you from Safeco Field in beautiful Seattle, Washington, where tonight WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. Jose Abreu, Javi Garcia, Melky Cabrera and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, and Lloyd McClendon's Seattle Mariners. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this three-game set. As you may know, last night Chris Sale was just absolutely awesome, working 7 innings, giving up just 4 hits, 14 strikeouts, and we won that ball game 11-4. But on a team with a lot of veterans, a couple of rookies really stepped it up last night.
It's nice to see guys from the organization come in and really contribute, and it's nice to see youngsters really play a hand in victory. Tyler Saladino last night was just terrific. We've certainly gotten used to his defense at third, but last night he had 3 hits. He drove in 2 runs. He scored a run. It's his 3rd 3-hit game of the year, and he was absolutely brilliant. Carlos Sanchez doubled from both sides of the plate, drove in a career-high 4 runs, and scored 2 of them last night. He also had a big hand in the victory. So 2 guys who are going to lead the way into the future for the Sox certainly did the job last night. We're looking for more of the same tonight.
Well, 2 rookie hitters did it for us last night, and we got a rookie pitcher out there we want to do it for us tonight.
Carlos Rodon's absolutely brilliant the last couple of times out. They've both been against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. As you can see, the 1-1 record doesn't really tell the story. The ERA is 1.20 in 15 innings. He struck out 16, walked only 4. He had pinpoint control, although last night he gave up 2 solo home runs that wound up doing him in. But getting the ball over the plate has been the key for Carlos, and he's gotten the ball over the plate, and this is the man he's really got to worry about, and that's Nelson Cruz. Hit his major league leading 37th home run of the year last night. He's reached base safely 31 straight games. And the free agent who was brought in to deliver some runs has done just that, but the Mariners are scuffling.
All right, we broke a 7-game road skid in Anaheim. We've won 2 in a row, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
If he had a piece of advice for Carlos Rodon, what would it be?
Just throwing strikes. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for anybody. I think it's a little bit tougher for him because I mean he's learning at the major league level, not only at the major league level but as a starter. You know, when I was here, you could hide me for an inning in the bullpen, and when things started getting heavy and started happening to me, you could bring someone else in. You know, he's having to do this as a starter. And I think he's done an unbelievable job. And I think for any young pitcher, I would say the most important part about being a starting pitcher is throwing strikes and just trusting your stuff. A lot of times you can get yourself into trouble because you start nitpicking. You're here for a reason. He's here for a reason. If he keeps throwing strikes, we're gonna see a lot more out of him.
These guys are pretty similar left-handers, both dominating, and who better to get advice from than Chris Sale. So stay with us. We'll be back with the lineups and the first pitch after these messages.
Light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. By Honda. Great deals are happening at the Honda Summer Clearance event. Now at your Honda dealer. Subway. Make a smart play for savory subs this season. Score more flavor at Subway restaurants. Subway, eat fresh. Ford. America's best-selling brand, inviting you to go further in our fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your Ford store or at your local FordStores.com. And by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers who invite you to test drive our award-winning lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Welcome back to Safeco Field in the Pacific Northwest. A beautiful night for baseball. Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. So let's take a look at how Robin's going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. Adam Eaton leading it off with Tyler Saladino. Had a big night last night in the 2 spot. Then it's Jose Abreu hitting third. Melky Cabrera in left field and hitting cleanup. Avisail Garcia, who in the last 5 games is hitting the ball very well. He's the designated hitter. Trace Thompson gets a look in right field tonight. Alexi Ramirez at short. Carlos Sanchez at second. And Tyler Flowers behind the plate and hitting 9th. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Vidal Nuno. Franklin Gutierrez in left field with Austin Jackson in center, and then Brad Miller, who came in a late lineup change as Mark Trumbo was scratched. Then it's Kyle Seager, Ketel Marte, Robinson Cano, and Jesus Montero in the infield with Mike Zunino behind the plate. And there's a look at the starting pitcher, Vidal Nuno, who's 0-1, his ERA 3.67. He's on for the 22nd time. This is his 4th start. Opponent's hitting a very high 286. He's not an overpowering left-hander. He doesn't have a great curveball or slider, but he mixes everything up, and if he keeps it down, he can usually be effective. The umpires for the game tonight. Gary Cedarstrom behind the plate, Jim Wolf's at first, Lance Barksdale at second, and Quinn Wolcott is at third. So Zunino has thrown the ball down to second base. They're throwing the ball around, and that means that we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here with WGN Sports. So happy you could join us for game 2 of this 3-game set. And before we show you our picks to click you at home, select yours as Adam Eaton gets set to lead it off against this 28-year-old southpaw out of National City, California. And the first pitch of the ball game Taken down low. Adam comes in at 265, 10 homers, 33 driven in. He was 2 for 5 with an RBI last night. Can't get that one.
When Seattle traded away J.A. Happ, it left a hole in their rotation, that hole filled by Nuno. He came over from the Arizona Diamondbacks along with Mark Trumbo.
And that's out of play.
One big guy that went over from Seattle to the Arizona Diamondbacks, Wellington Castillo, a catcher who originally came from the Chicago Cubs and can really hit. And they're hoping that the young left-hander on the mound can get the job done for them.
One out.
Throws a slow, tantalizing breaking ball that sweeps out of the zone. A good stop by Zunino. And he strikes out the first hitter.
So here's Tyler. Saladino 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs last evening. Comes in at 255, 3 homers and 11 driven in. And he takes low ball 1. And here at Safeco Field, 331 down the left field line, 326 down the right field line, 380 in right center, 376 in left center, and 401 straightaway center. High pop up. Cano. So with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click. Jumanjo, our director and crew, well, they went with Adam Eaton. Steve's going to go with Trace Thompson and J.J. Shearer and all the great folks at Ditka's. We're going to go with Tile Flowers. J.J. and Tim. That's up high. Abreu 1 for 5 with an RBI last night, hitting at 293, 22 long ones, and 74 knocked in.
Outfield playing him dead straight away, as is the infield. A lot of teams decide they want to shift on him and force him to hit the ball to the right side. He does that very well.
Well, with him, it doesn't make a whole bunch of difference, because if he hits it hard and gets it up, it's gone anywhere.
And this ballpark has become a little bit easier to hit the ball out of these days. And over the last 7, Jose hitting almost 350.
Big rip right there. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Finish up tomorrow. Johnny Danks against Taijuan Walker. And then head on back home. Got him. Had a little piece of the zone. So a 1-2-3 inning. And after half inning of play, our guys nothing and their guys coming to bat.
tonight. It's Ketel Marte leading it off, then Kyle Seager, Nelson Cruz, who hit a home run last night, Robinson Cano, Franklin Gutierrez, Austin Jackson, Jesus Montero, Brad Miller, and Mike Zunino rounding it out. And the defense, now they'll line up behind Carlos Rodon. It's Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Trace Thompson in the outfield with Saladino, Ramirez, Sanchez, and Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate. And Carlos Rodon on the hill, trying to improve on that 500 record, looking for win number 6. His ERA a little below 4.5. As you can see, on for his 18th start.
So here's Marte, the 21-year-old shortstop. He's a switch hitter, hitting at .297. No homers. He's driven in 3. He was 2 for 4 last evening. And our 22-year-old southpaw's first pitch, taken inside. Seattle comes in hitting at .243 as a team with a 4.28 team ERA. There's a strike. They're 26 and 34 here at home, and 30 and 32 on the road. In your interview right there with Chris Sale, I would say that certainly throwing strikes is the most important thing, but also get it and throw it.
That was one of the things that Chris Sale has certainly adopted.
Be gone.
Carlos's slider is just about as good as anybody's around, and even though he's a very young pitcher, because he can throw him at 2 different speeds and uses one to wipe him out, it's become a really effective pitch for him.
So here's Kyle Seager. Kyle was 0 for 4 last evening, hitting at .262, 17 homers and 48 knocked in. Good little player. First pitch strike.
He had a pretty good year last year, and he parlayed that into a $100 million long-term contract. 7 years they tied him up for. You get good, solid left-hand hitting third baseman who can really field and hit the ball out of the ballpark. You want to tie him up for a while.
Saying you wait on the hitter as a pitcher. Don't make the hitter wait on you. Hitters don't like that. They want to control the tempo, control the pace. The 2-2. He gone. 2 down.
You see where Tyler wants it, and that ball is just sweeping away from Seager. This is not a particularly good cut, and you can understand if you never have seen Rodon, and you can't imagine what that slider looks like from 60 feet 6 inches. He just saw it.
So here's Cruz. Nelson at .322, 37 homers, 76 knocked in. 2 for 4 last night with a home run right over the center field fence. One of the strongest men in the game.
He didn't seem to get it all. It just never came down. I think Adam Eaton thought he had a shot at it, and it just kept on going.
He doesn't have to get it all. When you're that strong, all he's got to do is get it up with a little something on it. Good chance it's not going to come down. Got a great stroke. Keeps his hands in front of his chest. Short finish. Short finish means a short stroke. Long finish means a long stroke, a big stroke. Strikes out the side, and after 1, no score.
weren't hitting, they weren't scoring, and as you can see, things didn't go well. But the last couple, things have gone very well, and the runs are abounding, along with a whole lot of hits, doubles, and walks. And usually, if you get solid pitching, and the Sox have, it's going to turn into some wins, and it certainly has.
First pitch strike. Melky at 276, 8 homers, 59 driven in. He was 1 for 3 last night. He scored a couple of runs. Sox come in hitting at 250 as a club with a 3.97 team ERA. Pokes that one. Souvenir right side.
She's most likely tweeting us.
High in the right center field.
Join us for a special children's autograph session on Sunday, September 13th at 10:15 a.m. The first 1,000 children's tickets purchased through this special offer are invited to an exclusive pregame children's autograph session. Visit whitesox.com/autographs for tickets and more information.
Here's Avi. 2 for 4 last night with a couple of runs scored, hitting at 266, 11 homers and 45 knocked in.
One of the most encouraging signs last night was Farquhar tried to throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball inside to him and jam it. And he was able to get the good part of the bat on it and line it to Seager at third. And if he's able to get the good part of the bat on that pitch with the coverage that he has naturally, he's going to be that much tougher to retire.
Well, his upside is unlimited. Last year was a shame, him having to miss 500 at bats. Seager sucks it up. 2 down.
Well, he did his best and worked awfully hard to come back, and he actually got back during the season, which is something that very few people thought that he could do. Then he went out during the winter, and he played some good, solid baseball. He was able to get a number of swings in, but it's not like getting swings in the major leagues. I think we are far from seeing the finished product of what he's going to be.
As I mentioned, it's unlimited. As here's Trace. He's 7 for 16 since being called up. 1-1 to count. Very impressive youngster. In and out of the uniform. That ball hit hard, and you can put it on the board. Yes! Just a bullet out of here. Wow. 1-0 Sox.
Second home run, second run batted in. And a no-doubter as that one caromed off the back wall. And Trace Thompson gets a hold of one after Nuno had retired 5 straight.
And, of course, with that home run by Trace, the Alex Nellius family and Christine O'Reilly and White Sox Charities will hook up. In loving memory of Ursula. But he's just a very impressive person. As I mentioned, in and out of the uniform. Carries himself extremely well. And why not? He's got good genes. High pop up. And he probably had a couple of brothers and knock him right on his behind if he didn't. But the home run by Trace Thompson is 1-0 Sox.
On to WGNTV.com and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner for the latest stats and information. Soccer Game Zone is powered by Robert Morris University, Illinois, offering over 55 athletic teams, and that's more than any other university in the state. For more information on RMU, visit robertmorris.edu.
Cano, Gutierrez, and Jackson. Foul. Robinson 1 for 4 last night. Hitting in .271, 13 homers and 54 driven in. Ball hit hard, slicing away, so that's going to be a hard single for Cano.
Despite the fact Cano's only hitting .271, which for him is not a real good year, he's been hitting the ball right on the screws. He's just been hitting it at people, and this time he slices this ball away from Eaton in center field. And fortunately, it was more at Adam than in the gap, because that's for sure 2, possibly 3 bases.
So here's Gutierrez, 0 for 4 last evening, hitting at .281, 7 homers and 19 driven in. Well, you go through streaks that you get a lot of hang woofums, like Melky did with us, Cano's doing with them. You don't go through a whole year like that. You go through streaks, and it's very frustrating. And most of the time, you'll go through those streaks when nobody else is hitting.
He was such a terrific player with the Yankees, where he was just one of the guys. He didn't have to be the guy. When he came here, they really brought him in to build a team around him. And he's been a very good player for them, as he was a good player for the Yankees. But so far, it hasn't worked out as well as they would have liked. This year, not a question of what Cano hasn't done. It's been a question of the bullpen. Last year, they had 7 guys. They led all of baseball in ERA. The 7 guys stayed the same all year. And this year, it's just been a revolving door with a lot of guys hurt and a lot of guys ineffective.
Touched on it a lot last evening. Coming out of spring training, Jack, Zarincic, the general manager, did his job. Coming out of spring training, this ball club was expected. They had high expectations like we did.
Well, he was certainly hoping that something similar to what he saw from the pen last year would be there this year.
And there's the base hit, so the first 2 men aboard.
This is what it looks like in the American League West. The Angels in second place behind the Astros, 3.5 games back, 3 back in the loss column. The Rangers, who are coming on, tied at 59 losses, but 4 games in back of the Astros. With the Mariners 10.5 back, they're 10 under 500, and they've been struggling. And there is Jack Zarincic to his right, one of his special assistants, and one of the real funny guys in the game, Pete Vukovich, former Cy Young Award winner. Pete understands the game. He's been a good scout for a long time, and he is one of Jack Zarincic's right-hand men.
All they can do is put a team that's talented together. There's been 3 of that ilk, so to speak, that stick out. Rick Hahn, Jack Zarincic, and A.J. Preller down in San Diego. They did their jobs. They put the talent there. Now, it's up to the players to have a little accountability in performance.
Well, there was another team that we're going to see going back home that's starting to really hit the baseball that's been disappointing this year, because a lot of people picked them, and that's been Boston. They've had a lot of injuries to that team.
That pitch outside to Austin Jackson.
Boston also has seen a complete front office turnaround, as Larry Lucchino has decided to step down and Ben Cherington, the general manager, has resigned. With first and second and nobody out, Seattle hitters have scored at least one run 64% of the time, with the league average at 61. Sox pitchers have given up at least one run 67% of the time. That's above league average. Fans on the road are going to boo every time a pitcher even looks like he's going to throw to a base, assuming that he is the visiting pitcher.
Well, that's a good one there.
The one thing Tyler didn't have a chance to do was take a step, because Carlos Rodon was kind of in his way. Carlos got down and tried to get out of the play, but wound up getting tangled up a bit with Tyler. It's a great bunt. It's going to be a sacrifice anyway, but here comes Tyler, and as he comes out, Carlos is right there, and Tyler can't do anything with it.
Yeah, even if he's not going to throw him out anyway.
To really, in this case, I mean, Carlos was trapped because he was thinking he was going to make that play, and it's turned out a base hit, and now the base is loaded.
Well, that's what a perfect bunt will do to him, the defense. So here is Montero. Sox packed with Mariners.
Montero at one point was the pride and joy of the New York Yankee organization, and he worked very hard this winter. He lost 40 pounds to get himself in shape to come out and have a pretty big year.
That strike evens the count at 1. Last couple of days watching him, of course you can't tell with Chris Sale, but watching him in batting practice and then watching him in a game, it's unfair to compare, but two different swings.
When he was real good when he was young, he had big power to right center field.
He's a big guy.
And it appears now, for whatever reason, maybe he's very conscious of hitting the ball out of the park. But he's trying to pull most everything. And as you can see with the bases loaded, it hasn't been all that good for him. He doesn't run particularly well. On a ground ball, you can turn 2. And, of course, the Sox would be looking for that, try to stay out of the big inning.
Well, that's not uncommon for a guy to have one swing for batting practice and another swing during the game. He gone. Big out. So I'll bring in Brad Miller.
That slider down and in at 90 miles an hour completely overmatches Montero. And one of the breaks in this sequence is that Mark Trumbo, who was supposed to be playing right field, would have been in the middle of this particular rally. But instead, it's the left-hand hitting Miller.
Miller out of Orlando. Second round selection in the 2011 June draft. Started the season off at shortstop. Okay, take your time, boys. Bases loaded, nobody out. And we still lead it 1-0. He started season.
Yeah, supposed to be. I mean,
he had a good spring.
Sox fans, the first 20,000 fans on Sunday, August 30th, will receive a White Sox baseball cap presented by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank, love where you bank. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Scott Rodon pitched out of a bases loaded, nobody out. A strikeout and then threw a double play to Brad Miller. Hit it sharply, but right at Sanchez. And here is Carlos. 2 for 4 last night. 4 RBIs, scored 2 runs. He was Jim Angio and Mike Leary, and Dave Ross has picked to click. Comes in at 241, 3 homers and 23 driven in.
Over the last 8, Carlos from both sides of the plate has been getting it done, hitting .385, 5 doubles, 6 driven in, 5 scored, and 4 of them multi-hit games.
Gets
man behind the plate is one of the Mariners' big hopes, and they thought when they drafted him with the 3rd pick in the draft in 2012 that Mike Zunino would be the next big thing behind the plate. And so far, and he's still young enough, so far it just hasn't worked out for him. He's a big catcher. He's 6'2", 220. And he's only 24 years old, but he's having a tough time of it.
Everything's contagious. They're going bad, good chance you're going to be going bad. Especially a youngster. Youngsters just don't know how to handle the adversity at the major league level like a 5 or 6 or 7 year veteran.
And of course, Zunino's coming up in one of the most difficult positions to play of all of them because of the responsibility. You got to know everything. You got to know your pitchers. You got to know their hitters. Then you have to know how to do it offensively when you're struggling with the other aspects of the game. So it's easy to get here if you're a good catcher. It's just a tough position to play.
Plus, you got the toughest travel schedule probably in all the sports.
There's no doubt, because there isn't any place
close by
in the major leagues close to here.
Their mileage this year, Banjo just informs us, they're going to travel 56,000 miles this year. Got a piece of it. And what that does is most of the time it'll tell you that, not most, but a lot of the time it will tell you that you don't have any off days because you're traveling on your off day. Ball hit sharply. That should be a base hit. And indeed it is. So Tyler was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs last night.
And they think an awful lot of Marte at shortstop. He goes to his left, has that ball skid under the glove. But it was a very hard hit ball that Marte seems a little disappointed that he missed. He also might have hurt his hand.
Oh, if he's a good shortstop, he will tell you he should have had it. Adam struck out on a breaking pitch. Takes a double in the air for a strike. So JJ and Tim Shiras pick to click at first. Gap out there in right center. There's a little flipper. Could be trouble. It is trouble. And that'll be a base hit. So there's a Kansas City special right there.
Franklin Gutierrez is normally an outstanding outfielder, and this is probably one he should have made, but didn't. When you slide, a lot of times, you just don't keep the same look. And he did slide, he just missed the ball, because it's a little difficult to slide and catch it and keep your head in a stationary position at the same time.
Well, at least I talked to him after the game last night, and at least he said he feels real good, which is something that hadn't happened to him too often in his career.
He's had some terrible intestinal problems over the course of his career because of a disease that he has, which flares up every now and then. But when he's healthy, he's really a terrific player.
You better believe he is. He was, let's face it, he was headed on being a star.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say superstar, but he was definitely going to be a star. There's a strike.
The Mariners Hall of Fame broadcaster Dave Niehaus, when Gutierrez came here from the Indians and played center field, he called him the man where fly balls go to die, because if it stayed in the park, Franklin got it alley to alley, and then he had all kinds of problems.
I miss Dave Niehaus. Oh, what a good friend for many, many years. 40 years. And there's another good friend right there. Rick Riz was Dave's partner. Terrific broadcaster.
He's been here for 30 years. And he's really into this game.
That ball hit hard. Nice play. And they turn it. So that ball was nailed. Nothing you can do about that, Tyler. Meanwhile, it's still 1-0 Sox.
Of a very sticky situation. First a strikeout of Montero, and then Miller cooperates by hitting into a very easy 4-6-3. And with bases loaded, nobody out, usually if you get away with one, you think it's pretty good. And on the Mazda replay, we saw that Carlos Rodon got out and kept his 1-0 lead.
Here's Zunino, ninth place hitter, 24-year-old catcher. Hitting at 175, but he has 11 home runs. So he got some pop last year. Last year he had 22 home runs. And he's, Steve mentioned earlier, just 24 years old, so he's got still a lot in that learning curve to obtain.
It doesn't always happen, but when you're picked in the first round, third in the country, as Carlos Rodon was and Mike Zunino was, you're there because of a whole lot of talent. It's a question of when or if it's going to come out.
Well, there are several teams that have had scouting enigmas, so to speak. One being Denver pitchers, trying to find pitchers who can pitch.
Well, that's obviously a big problem.
Sure. Another one used to be, not anymore, but it used to be the Cubs when they played all-day games. Because we used to say is that Cubs could never win unless they had all married men.
In the city of Chicago?
Well,
with 5 o'clock liquor licenses?
One of the greatest cities in the world.
It is that.
I mean, and another one is Seattle because of the travel. You can imagine, and an example being, I play with guys, and I'm sure you have too. We've never talked about it too much. Who are absolutely just petrified of flying. And can you imagine playing here in Seattle and being one of those guys who just absolutely is petrified of flying?
No, then you have to look for another profession, especially with the distances you have to fly. And I just think you have to be physically a stronger guy, because the time changes will get to you. And maybe it doesn't affect you in April, May, or possibly June. But as the year moves along, it starts to really affect you. The only advantage you have in Seattle is the fact that it's never all that warm over a long period of time.
So, it's going to get you.
You know, you're not going to be able to really get to the point where you can back east, where the heat and humidity will get to you. Here it's just time travel.
Alexei comes in, recognizes it, gets him, and that's 2 out. Yeah, they're the first two, Denver and the Cubs, back when, before they games. Those were easy to try to figure out, but this one here is tough to try when you're factoring in that in your assessment or evaluation of a young talent. I play with some guys though. Louis Tiant, great pitcher. Cleveland and Boston. Louis was absolutely petrified in an airplane, and every time we hit a little air bump, he just started screaming. I mean, screaming.
Well, it hasn't happened recently, but many years ago to a guy from the organization that you know so very well, the Boston Red Sox, a guy by the name of Jackie Jensen, actually had his career cut short because he was so afraid of flying that he just decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
Attaboy. Nice, easy 1-2-3 inning. And he leads it 1-0.
.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 37 years. To join the nation, visit jeffvuk.com because Nationwide is on your side.
Well, you just saw a shot earlier of Pete Vukovich. Every time I ever see Pete Vukovich or Chris Bosio, there he is. They remind me so much of a light of a pitcher. I've seen them both go out there before with absolutely nothing and beat you. And I mean stones this big, both of them. You hit one of their guys, they're going to hit two of yours. That was my Don Drysdale school pitching. Don Drysdale, Hall of Famer, pitcher of the Dodgers. One and two the count to Abreu. Struck out his first trip. 1-3-0 for us. A home run of Vicious as he gets him again.
That one hit the outside part of the outside corner, and all could have gone either way. Gary Cederstrom said it was good enough. As you look at the Xfinity pitch tracks, it was framed by Zunino, and Jose goes down on strikes. Both of them called.
Well, we had a good game last night. Quinn Walcott did a good job. Lloyd McClendon wouldn't think so.
No, Lloyd got the boot last night.
There's Quinn, young umpire. That series we had down in Anaheim, that was horribly umpired. There's a line drive. 2 down. And that'll bring up Avi. Avi grounded out to Kyle Seager at third base.
Nuno was so very good out of their bullpen that when they traded away Happ and they were forced to put him in the starting rotation, things haven't worked out as well as they would have liked. And so what happened is the trade necessitated a move that weakened two areas because Nuno was the guy that was picking up a lot of innings out of that pen. Now they don't have that guy. It's pretty much what Scott Carroll has done for the Sox. There's the first 3 starts. As you can see, it hasn't been pretty, although tonight he's thrown the ball pretty well. They felt if they could get a good solid 5 out of him this evening, it would be a job well done.
And the ball hit hard. Nice pick. Okay, got down low, as he should have. Makes the play. It is still 1-0 Sox.
Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. MLB.TV Premium includes a free at-bat 15 subscription. You can watch baseball on over 400 devices, and you can watch at home, in the office, or on the go. Every night on every device, blackout or other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Got the heart of the order coming up here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Cano, Gutierrez, and Jackson. Cruz will lead it off. Nelson struck out on a slider. That's low. 37 homers, 76 knocked in.
American League leaders, Nelson Cruz at the top. That's Chris Davis, Josh Donaldson, Albert Pujols, Mike Trout. The bottom three are tied at 33, with Cruz leading the way with 37.
3-1.
This particular pitch is where the home run hitter starts thinking about hitting the ball out of the park because he's well ahead of the young pitcher.
There's the first walk issued by Carlos, coming to the leadoff man. And that'll bring up Cano. Cano, a vicious line drive single into just to the left of straightaway center. Taking some scores for you. Houston beat the Dodgers 3-1 down at the Juice Box. Washington over Milwaukee 6-1 in D.C. Pittsburgh beat the Giants 3-2 at PNC. And the count 2-0 to Cano. Cubs beat Atlanta 9-7. Was that Wrigley? There's a strike. In that game, Rizzo went deep, number 25, and Addison Russell. Boy, he's going to be a good one. Wow. He hit his 9th. For the Braves, Nick Swish hit 2. One from each side of the plate. AJ went 3 for 4 with a couple of RBIs as that pitch is popped up. Tyler, 1 out. Swish went 2 for 4, those 2 home runs, and knocked in 4.
A whole lot of pitches so far, because he had to work to get out of that second inning where he had 3 straight hits, including a bunt to load him up with nobody out.
Gutierrez, single in the hole between third and short. Just tuning in, a run on 3 hits for us. No runs on 3 hits for them. That one hit, that 1 run for us, a vicious home run by Trace Thompson. Just a very impressive line drive. Dave Winfield type-ish. Boy, he could hit some line drives that just drop your jaw. Dave Winfield. Signed with San Diego, played with the Yankees. What a player.
You don't expect Cruz to run very much, but he does have 3 stolen bases this year in 5 attempts. Odds are overwhelming. He's not going to be running against the left-hander, especially with Gutierrez ahead in the count 2-0.
Three and 0 with Austin Jackson on deck. Outside. So the second walk of the inning. Here's Jackson, had a beautiful, perfect bunt single back in the second inning. That was after Cano single, Gutierrez single to lead it off. He beat that out for a base hit. They had the bases loaded, nobody out. Then he struck out Montero, and Miller hit it into a 4-6-3 double play.
Tyler Flowers spending a great deal of time on the mound, and Gary Cederstrom decided to walk out. At that point, Tyler broke it up. He just wanted to get Carlos concentrating once again, trying to keep the ball down and maybe induce Jackson to get into a double play, something he's only done 4 times this year.
Well, if we can double up Mike Trout, we can double up Austin Jackson.
Yeah, the Trout double play was really something. Carlos Sanchez with a turn at second base. Unbelievably quick.
Going to the count.
Jackson's next strikeout is going to be number 100. When he was a leadoff hitter with the Tigers, that was the biggest problem, his lack of contact. Jackson originally came up with the New York Yankees, and he was known as a center fielder who could cover a lot of ground. And Detroit had an outfielder, Curtis Granderson, who was a pull hitter. So they made a trade for one another, and Granderson went to the Yankees, where things worked well because of the way the ballpark is, and Jackson covered a lot of ground with the Tigers.
He gone right on the outside corner. 5 strikeouts now for Carlos.
That is number 100, and it's looking, and you look at the Xfinity pitch tracks, that looked like his backdoor slider, his put-away slider at 90, and he shaved off the outside corner.
So here's Montero. He struck out on a slider. Pull something.
I thought he might have gotten his heel or spike caught on that swing. It looked like a really unusual swing on a ball inside. Now Gary Cederstrom asked him if he's okay. He assured him that he is. Rolls over on his left foot.
He's really pulling his head off the ball. He's seeing that ball maybe tops 51, 52 feet. Struck out 3 times last night in his 3 at-bats. That's understandable with Sale. And that's going to go foul. Yes.
A heads-up play by Tyler, realizing even though Montero can't run, he really has very little chance of throwing him out at first base. Certainly you're not going to get the force out at third, so You have to depend on the spin of the ball and taking this one in foul territory, and that's exactly what happened. Just lets it go, and as soon as it goes foul, you touch it.
So the count hangs at 0-2. Just got a piece of it.
Every pitch in this sequence has been low and in. Be a good time to set up just off the plate at 0-2 on the outside corner, because if he does pull off the ball, he'll have no coverage out there.
He gone. And that'll retire the side. We're into the fifth, leading 1-0.
August 28th, presented by St. Xavier University. Come out to the ballpark for a tribute to the King of Rock and Roll, featuring performances by an Elvis tribute artist and a post-game fireworks show. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com.
Trace Thompson will lead it off, and here's what he did in his first at bat.
This a no-doubter. Zunino wanted it away, and Nuno got it in. And it left in a hurry.
That's about as quick as we've seen a ball get out of the park all year long. Reminded me of that home run Abreu hit in Oakland last year. And that was the fastest one we saw leave the park all year long. 0-1 the count. And that was not a strike, but he gave it to him. 0-2.
Looks like his changeup is very close to a screwball as he tries to die it. Low and away to the right-handers.
Pokes that one in the right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. So the leadoff man aboard. Good job right there. After that second pitch was called a strike. Good job by Trace.
He had to go out and protect, and that ball was well off the plate. So he just poked it into right field. So Larry, Layla, and Bob's picked to click. The K9 Sox Club out of Scottsdale. 2 for 2.
He is now 9 for 18 since putting a White Sox uniform. Quite a break-in. There's a strike. That one at 88. Chase has yet to attempt a stolen base. Has a short lead. Had 11 stolen bases down in Charlotte. Seager makes the play. 1 out.
Seager's pretty good at third base. He came in and made that one very smoothly, realizing he had no shot at second base on a slowly hit ball. He's setting up to throw as he charges the ball and gets rid of it easily.
He's a good player.
And one of your better third basemen defensively. And again, you don't hear a whole lot about him, but they love him here in Seattle. With a runner at second and only 1 out. Sox right around league average at scoring runs.
1-0 pitch to Carlos, 2-0.
On the other side of the coin, the Mariner pitchers are way above league average and giving up runs.
Just joining us, Sanchez last night 2 for 4 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Nuno, another one of those soft tossing left-handers. Just give us fits. By the scores, Yankees beat Cleveland 6-2 in the Bronx. Texas beat the Tigers 5-3 at Comerica Park. Top of the 9th in Boston, 6-2 Kansas City. Minnesota over Baltimore 3-2 at Oriole Park.
Nuno at one point pitched for the Washington Wild Things of the Frontier League. Then he signed with the New York Yankees. Amazing how many pitchers you can get out of independent league baseball.
That was off the end of the bat. 2 down.
Cano for just an instant thought he might have had a play at third base, but Thompson is too quick for it. And there you look at the major league numbers of Nuno. 3 and 16. Yikes. But he was very good out of their pen for trying to fill a gap in the rotation.
So here's Tyler. He singled his first trip. Tyler last night 2 for 4 with 3 big ribbies. Between Tyler and Soto, 16 homers and 52 RBIs. Not a lot of other clubs can claim that kind of production from that position. Turn loose.
With runners in scoring position, Tyler's been pretty good. And you do have a left-hander in the on-deck circle. But even if he's turned loose, he's not going to be swinging at that pitch, as that was right on the outside corner. The outside part of the outside corner, very much a pitcher's pitch.
So the first walk issued by Nuno. Bit of a pitch around right there. And here is Adam. 1 for 2. Little soft single. Kansas City special into left field.
Over the last 25, Adam is getting it done. Plus, he's scored 19 runs with 11 multi-hit games. That looked like, it sounded like it got him on the hand.
That's what Cedarson is saying. Better than in the face. So that will load him up for Saladino.
He did get down in a hurry, but it tipped off the hand.
So that's the first batter that Nuno has hit this year. Now they want to review.
Well, if it holds, Adam Eaton is going to be hit for the 10th time this year.
Well, if he's hit for the 10th time this year, that'll be the softest he's been hit with a pitch this year.
And also, when you review this, to get conclusive proof that he's not hit is going to be very difficult to do. Harry Cedarstrom now is getting the headgear on correctly.
Well, fans all around baseball now are starting to, well, they want to be a part of the review. And what they're doing is that they're really getting into it when they show it on the big board out there. Even if it's just really close. They're cheering or booing according to their situation. And our terrific producer Mike Leary says there's definitely a double hit when they ran it. I didn't hear it. And we'll play it again for you in real time here.
You could hear it click off the hand and then to the glove. Now the question in New York is, you can't see it real well. Are they audibly reviewing it? Because if you hear it, it sounds like absolutely it hit off the hand and then the glove. It sounded like a brush and bang in the glove.
He said he hit it. He got hit. So that load him up.
Certainly Adam knew he got hit the whole time, and the fans who couldn't hear it just looking at it on the scoreboard, and
well, they got one guy.
You can't tell.
One guy over there, he just sat down. He was really upset. Here's Tyler. Tyler 0 for 2. Outfield, straight up, spaced about equidistant. And there's first pitch strike. That's to the wrong man. So he pitches out of it. We're halfway home, leading 1-0. Brad Miller, late entry for Mark Trumbo, who was scratched because of a sore left knee. Miller's been able to play one time. That was with the bases loaded and one out back in the second inning. Hit the ball hard, but fortunately for us, right at Carlos Sanchez for a 4-6-3 double play. Takes the strike. As I mentioned, he started off the season as their shortstop. And he's hitting .251, 9 homers, 36 driven in. Along with 18 doubles and 3 triples. He had a good spring, that's the reason, but he wanted to get a little more defense out there. So here's Zunino. Mike grounded out to Saladino. Watch out. Ball skull.
That ball hit awfully hard, and the young lady, serving as the ball girl, had that one-hop rocket just elude her. There's a look at Lloyd McClendon, the skipper of the Seattle Mariners. This is his second go-round as a manager. I talked with him about his days in Pittsburgh. Didn't have much of a ball club in those days, but he said what really helped him was the ability to communicate with the players, and he realizes, like most managers do, that's a big part of it. So he said he picked up a whole lot from that first go-round. He was very happy to begin a second shot at it here with Seattle. And last year, 87 and 75 in third place in the West.
If you can't communicate with Lloyd McClendon, you got a problem.
I think really what helped Lloyd as much as anything else was that he was a utility player most of his career. He had a chance to play every now and then, but he could play a lot of positions, especially behind the plate. If you can get a utility man that can catch and play multiple positions, it's a great benefit. And when you're not a starter and you realize how really tough it is on these guys, I think you can communicate with the guys that probably you have to communicate with best, and that's the guys you don't play every day.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. He gone. 2 down. Oh, Lloyd and I had a long talk yesterday and another pretty good talk today about the differences in time zones and just how much more difficult it is today to be a manager in the major leagues. It's never been tougher than it is today to manage in the big leagues. Everything in this game is tougher today than it's ever been.
Not buying a house.
There's only one position. That's the owners. They're better off. It's easier for them. Marte is struck out and grounded to short. 21 years old. And the count 3-0. Come back again. There's one. Bit of a gap out there in left center. And that's outside ball 4, so the third walk.
Fans, the First Merit Bank Stadium Club offers breathtaking views of U.S. Cellular Field and delicious food and beverage options for you to enjoy prior and during White Sox games. Purchase a First Merit Bank Stadium Club membership by calling 312-674-1000.
And Mark Zucker and his crew, they'll take care of you. As in the right field area, the Bertucci boys, Bobby, Bruno, and Handsome Anthony, they'll take care of you out there. If you're just tuning in, 1-4-0 for us, 0-3-0 for them. Wicked line drive home run by Trace Thompson. That's Kemp Corn. So Seager now 0 for 3, and we're into the 6th.
Sixth inning. Text Subway to 97999 right now for your chance to win 6 meals from the Simple 6 menu from Subway. Message and data rates may apply. Subway. Eat fresh.
Top of the 6th inning in a 1-0 Sox lead. It'll be Abreu, Cabrera, and Garcia. Abreu 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, both of them called. He didn't particularly care for either one of the calls. That's downstairs.
There's plenty of room in right center if Nuno decides to stay away.
And there's plenty of room between Miller and that right field line. 1 out. Austin Jackson, and that'll bring up Cabrera, who is 0 for 2. He's gone out to right and lined out hard to Jackson.
Nuno having by far his best start. And this is the 4th time he has started.
I asked a couple of Seattle people down on the field before the game. I said, what's this guy got? I wanted to get a couple different opinions, and they both said, well, he's not going to overpower you. I said, so he's a soft tosser? Yeah, for the most part. And I said, don't tell me that. It's amazing. Over the years, Sox fans are very familiar. He did not go, says Jim Wolf. Just how soft tossing left-handers have worn us out. Just did get a piece of it. Count hangs at 2-2. Finale tomorrow. Johnny Danks against Taiwan Walker. That game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. Then we board our charter, head on home. Takes that one upstairs. Full count. Have 3 with Boston and 4 with these Mariners. Cano.
And here's the 2 men they're going to go head to head. Johnny Danks has been throwing the ball pretty well lately. Taiwan Walker, a young right-hander with very good stuff, as you can see. 135 strikeouts, 36 walks, and 141 innings. And lately, Johnny just seems to be throwing the ball better and better, so that should be a good matchup in the finale.
Javi with a couple of ground outs left side. 1 to third, 1 to short.
That was one of the few times where Nuno went inside. That time he went in and up. For the most part, he's been staying away from just about everyone. And you look at the Xfinity pitch tracks. It's not real fast, but it was in.
That one at 82. And of course, we saw a soft tossing 6-7 right-hander down in Anaheim. 1-2-3 inning. And we still lead at 1-0. leaves Cano and Gutierrez, with Jackson the fourth hitter.
It's a pretty good fastball. He kept it just off the plate outside.
Talking with Nelson before the game, he had his son down on the field. His son looks exactly like it. That's outside, and the count 2-1. Outfield straight up. He struck out his first trip, then walked, leading off the fourth inning.
Similar situation where he had a 3-1 count.
That ball is absolutely murdered. Wow. So the count gets him. Picks up his 21st double.
Big home run hitters, when you fall behind and they can zone in on you, they usually are going to get a real good swing at it. This ball is down out over the plate. And although it looked like it wasn't a long way away from Eaton, this ball was by him before he had a chance to even take a step. It was absolutely murdered.
So here's Cano. He had a rocket single back in the second. Then he fouled out to Saladino in the fourth. And he knows what his job is here in a 1-1 ball game. And he's going to get it done. And that'll be a base hit.
Carlos was playing back and realized that he had to charge that ball in a hurry and get rid of it as quickly as possible, and the ball took an unusual hop and just couldn't get to it. So you would expect that that would be a base hit, and they're giving him E4.
That's ridiculous. This guy's got to go back to school. Who was the official scorer here, if it's the same one, especially if it was last night. I mean, that was ridiculous, that play call he made last night.
Yes, indeed.
So here's Gutierrez. He's 1 for 1, a single and a walk. Well, at least they have the option now back in New York of changing it.
Cano doesn't run too often, just 2 stolen bases. He's been thrown out 4 times.
Just misses. One ball, one strike. Nobody out, runners at the corners. That's going to be a 2-run double.
Both fastballs that have been hit were down in the strike zone. Take a look at the location. Is that fastball right over the middle of the plate and around knee high, and Gutierrez drives in runs number 20 and 21. If he can stay healthy, this is a completely different look in this Mariner lineup. And Don Cooper now coming out. He wants a word with Carlos Rodon.
So Coop has his say. And here's Austin Jackson. Had a bunt single and a strikeout. And he'll be trying to do something to get Gutierrez over to third. Trying to shoot it that way. $32,085 in attendance. They're averaging 29,682. Another effort to go that way, so the count 1-2. That's off of Don.
That ball hit awfully hard back up the middle, and when Alexi got to it, he realized that he had no shot at Jackson, and the only thing he thought of was perhaps Gutierrez would round third base. Alexi comes in looking at first, no shot there, and a quick look to third, but Gutierrez was staying right there.
So here's Jesus Montero, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts.
Matt Albers starts to throw in the pen, and he's getting ready in a hurry.
Decent lead by Jackson. And there's first pitch strike to Montero. Turn it. The run scores, and it's a 3-1 lead. I tell you, I don't know if anybody in second base in this league is better at turning a double play than Carlos Sanchez.
Montero tries to pull that one, and it turns into a fairly easy 6-4-3, and Carlos gets rid of it in a hurry. Goes from underneath. He's very accurate with his throw. And Jackson got down there quickly enough, but just couldn't break it up.
Brad Miller, check swing strike. Talked about it last night. He's going to take a hit. He doesn't mind standing in there. He knows how to take a hit as well. In the air. He did not go. Count 1-2. He gone, but they put a crooked number up there, a 3 spot. We'll go to the 7th, trailing by 2.
Get to StubHub, where there are no surprise fees at checkout. That's right. On StubHub, the price you see is the price you pay. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of WhiteSox.com. So we've got a new first baseman who comes into the game as we head into the top of the 7th. Logan Morrison checks in at first base. We certainly would be seeing a lot more of him if, in fact, we had a lot of right-handed starters, which we do not.
Well, he's got 12 homers, 37 knocked in. But right here we need some runs. It's 3-1 Mariners.
Nuno is out there for the time being, but they're ecstatic to get this far with him. And they've got the bullpen up and going just in case.
That first pitch was not a strike, called a strike. Second pitch was a better pitch. And the count 1-1. That's slow.
There's a pen that Sam Wilhelmsen throwing.
When he's right, he is really tough.
Sox fans, show your team pride with White Sox checking and an official White Sox debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Bank, member FDIC.
So Trace is retired. That home run and that single. He's now 2 for 3, and Alexei fouls that one away. Souvenir right side. Soft hit, one hopper. It's absolutely amazing, my friends, every time we face them. I'd rather face a left-hander who was a #1 draft pick than face a soft-tossing left-hander who can throw strikes.
When you look at that line, you realize that Nuno has been just terrific tonight. And he's been doing it largely by staying away from just about everybody. He'll go inside mostly for show, and he'll go away to get him out. .100 pitches for Vidal Nuno. Something that he doesn't do a whole lot of is get to triple digits.
Well, the reason being is other clubs don't have as much trouble with soft-talks and left-handers as we do.
When you look at his 6+ ERA and his starts.
That ball hit hard by Sanchez over the head of Austin Jackson. So that'll be a double.
I think Lloyd McClendon is going to end this one for Nuno, who does give up a ringing double. No chance at all for Austin Jackson, who can usually go get him, but not this time. And here comes Lloyd, who has got to be ecstatic, getting 2 outs in the 7th inning out of his left-hander who came out of the bullpen.
That ball was absolutely tattooed by Carlos Sanchez, picking up his 20th double. So Nuno departs and we'll be back.
Home game until August 26th will receive a Hubbard Inn game card good for 20% off a meal at Hubbard Inn, Barn & Company, and Juliet's. Purchase tickets today by visiting WhiteSox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. And we got a new pitcher coming in the game, and it is king-size Tom Wilhelmsen. It's 1-2 this year. His ERA a touch over 4 on for the 38th time, and he's got a couple of saves. Wasn't too long ago when this right-hander was the closer for this team. Had a wonderful curveball. That was 2012. He saved 29 games, had a .250 ERA. Then also was a closer 2013. But since then, he's fallen on some hard times.
And here's Tyler. Tyler has singled and he has walked. Takes first pitch strike at 96. He's a big guy, 6'6", 220 out of Tucson, where he was born, Arizona. Two out, 1-1 to count with Sanchez at second. That was a pretty impressive line drive by Carlos Sanchez. That ball got over his head in a hurry. Yes, he did. One and two the count. Curveball. Not too many guys you see stay out of organized baseball for 5 or 6 years and then come back and make themselves a lot of money. That is the case of Tom Wilholtz. That fastball into the mezzanine. Didn't play from 04 through 08. Just got a piece of that 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
When he had those big years as a closer, he didn't hang many curveballs. Now the velocity is still there, but the one curveball he's tried to throw came spinning up there. So now Zunino goes out and has a conversation with him. In those years he took off, spent as a bartender. Apparently realizing there was a whole lot more money wearing a major league uniform.
Well, he is making substantially more than the minimum, and the minimum is $508,000. That's a lot of tips.
It's spending a lot of time bartending.
The 2-2 pitch. And that's a little bit low. Good eye by Tyler. So full count.
You got a left-hander warming up in the bullpen with Adam Eaton in the on-deck circle.
Scatter him over. Little hole there, a little gate entrance. He went right through it.
Tyler just able to stay alive. Did a nice job because that ball was off the outside corner at the knees, and realizing it was too close to take. He's going to get another pitch.
Well, if you notice, he's been having some real good at bats lately. And there's ball 4. So here comes Adam.
Edgar Olmos losing in the pen.
Adam is 1 for 2. Last time up was hit by a pitch. Chopper up the middle, Cano right to the bag, steps on it, and that'll retire the side. So we have a mild 2-out threat. 7th inning stretch, we trail it 3-1.
The scoreboard and the schedule.
Three 6-0 for them, 1-5-1 for us here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mike Zunino has gone to third and he has struck out. Carlos, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Make it 8 strikeouts. Struck out Montero to end the 6th. Or Miller, I should say. 2-1 the count. Off the end of the bat. Good feed.
Chicago White Sox Charities present Sox Serve Week, a week-long initiative dedicated to giving back to the community we call home. Sox Serve Week will take place the week of August 24th. For more information, visit whitesox.com/SoxServe.
Mariners go back to the top of the order. Marte, shortstop, has struck out, grounded to short, and walked.
Just in case, Matt Albers continues to throw in a Sox pen.
Pitch will be number 108.
It's a couple of walks now to Marte. And overall, that's 4 walks.
Here's Kyle Seager. A strikeout, a comebacker. And a can of corn to center field. Marte just 1 for 2 on stolen bases.
See Chris Woodward in your picture. He is the first base coach. Rich Donnelly, longtime coach, the third base coach.
That's outside. Two down. That's a hang Wolfham for Seager.
And Rodman is going to go out and get Carlos at this point, not wanting him to face Cruz, who hammered the ball last time, but he's also at the 111 pitch mark, and you've got Matt Albers losing in the pen, so a pretty good job overall by Carlos. I thought he threw the ball very well. Now Robin is talking to him. He hasn't made the call yet. And he's going to let him go. He's going to let him try to get out. Nelson Cruz, their prolific slugger. This year, the high water mark for Carlos Rodon is 116 pitches.
Here's Nelson. He started off that 3-run sixth with a vicious line drive double. That one at 85 miles an hour. Time was called, so we just let it go.
Well, the time was acknowledged. You see it there, and Carlos just figures, well, might as well bounce one off Jack Links.
Decent lead. Two out. The 1-2 pitch. Carlos has got him, and that'll retire the side. Into the 8th, we trail it 3-1. Eighth inning. One run for us was a line shot home run. A bullet out of here by Trace Thompson, coming back in the second inning. So here we go. Saladino, Abreu, and Cabrera. First pitch strike at 96. Tyler's 0 for 3 tonight. Hits that ball right on the money, right at it. That's a hang with him.
Austin Jackson in a perfect place. And unfortunately, first time Tyler hit the ball out of the infield. No luck.
Here's Jose. He's 0 for 3. There's a curveball from Tom Wilhelmsen. Outfield there, for the most part, straight up, spaced about equidistant.
It was Matt Albers before, now Dan Jennings listening in the pen as Robinson Cano due to lead it off in the Seattle half of the 8th inning.
That one in 97.
In the right field.
Miller is there. 2 down. So here comes Melky. Melky takes down low. Melky has gone out to right, lined hard to center, and grounded to second. Off the end of the bat, you know. 1, 2, 3, and a couple of line drives. Meanwhile, we still trail it by 2.
6-5, and the Sox have the only error with Gutierrez, a 2-run double in the 6th. Trace Thompson, a solo home run shot in the 2nd, and Vidal Nuno, 6 2/3 with 5 hits and 1 earned run. He was absolutely great tonight. Honda, great deals are happening at the Honda Summer Clearance event, now at your Honda dealer. And we've got a new pitcher coming in the ball game, and it is Dan Jennings. He's 1-3. His ERA 5.26 on for the 34th time. He had a good inning of work in Anaheim, and he comes on now, having to retire Robinson Cano.
Cano is 2 for 3 with a run scored.
That one just missed down the line as Robinson Cano a little tardy on that fastball. Almost turned it into a 2-base hit. And that young lady has a souvenir, and she brought her glove just in case.
Very quickly, 0-2 the count. 32-year-old veteran. One of the most graceful players in the game. He plays second base like Devon White used to play center field. Devon White, of course, primarily with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he was just so graceful out there. Big old long, loping strides.
Cano just makes every play look like a routine play and makes everything look easy. It's really remarkable how he's played second over the course of his career.
Ate him up right there.
Gonna go back and get another bat. He took one right in off the thumb.
Tell you what, if you think about it real quick, you don't see him get sawed off like that very often.
Well, this one was a good 4 inches inside off the plate, and he's got to protect. This is almost a get off me ball. That one came close to hitting him. Six-time All-Star. He's won a couple of Gold Gloves in 2010, 2012, and a 5-time Silver Slugger Award winner. What a career it's been for Robinson Cano. And he parlayed it into a whole lot of Seattle dollars.
Three 6-0 for them, 1-5-1 for us. Vidal, Nuno really pitched well. Bullet. So leadoff man aboard.
Our fourth drive of the game came in the 6th inning off the bat of Franklin Gutierrez. He doubled in the gap in left center field. It drove home 2 and kept his perfect night intact. A single, a double, a walk, but that 2-run double in the 6th, the difference in this game.
First pitch strike. He carries that single, hard single in the hole between third and short, a walk and then a bullet. 2-run double. Knocked in 2 and scored 1. Jacks it up. Trouble of brewing.
The perfect night for Franklin Gutierrez. Intact, 3 for 3 with a walk. He just takes this one through the left side, exactly where the base hit went in the second inning. And here comes Don Cooper. So Coop with a couple of words.
Dan Jennings has got good stuff, but he is hard.
And when he falls behind and you get good hitters looking for a fastball, it's pretty tough to get them out. So one of the things they're discussing here is the bunt possibility from Jackson, who did that in the second inning, only to turn it into a base hit when he was trying to sacrifice. They'll be talking about how to defend this. And Gary Cedarstrom out to make sure that Tyler Flowers comes back behind the plate and breaks up the conclave on the hill.
Logan Morrison on deck. And Tyler's got it. So a big out. And here comes Logan Morrison.
He drops ahead of the bat, and when you do that, invariably you're going to pop up the ball. So Jackson with a very bad bunt, bidding for his 4th sacrifice of the year, instead popped it up, and the first at bat for Logan Morrison.
He's dangerous. Big guy. 12 homers, 37 knocked in.
Morrison, another one of those guys that came in with all kinds of talent and kept on getting hurt.
Yeah. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm a firm believer these guys are in just too good a shape. Cooperstown is filled with guys with a lot of foul.
Well, that's true. Different era of baseball, though.
Yeah, it was a different culture. These guys work out all year round. Their body fat is very, very low. And to me, not a good swing by Logan.
Now that time he was just overmatched inside. Decided to pull the trigger a little late.
But to me, that has got to be one, that combined with agents are the two principal reasons to me that there's so many hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars spent on the deal. Of going on the DL a lot, they were either going to trade you or send you down to the minor leagues.
Morrison's had a number of opportunities to secure a job with a few different ball clubs, and just about the time he did secure the job, he wound up on the disabled list.
Well, you take Gutierrez, that's different. You take Rocco Baldelli, that's different. That's internal problems they have. Rocco Baldelli, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's the coach now with Tampa Bay. He was a young player out of New England. Had a chance to be, like Gutierrez, a star. Big guy, 6'4", strong. And he had a disease that caused him to have to retire from baseball. And it was great to see him back in as a coach now. He gone.
This kind of a swing will give you an idea of how you become a platoon player.
That's cool.
There's some guys just don't seem to hit lefties real well if they're left-hand hitters. But if you're a left-hand hitter who can hit righties well, you're going to play 65% of the time, and you're going to find a spot to play.
Anybody who can hit left-handed pitching well is going to make a lot of money. Right-handed, left-handed, doesn't make any difference. Anybody. That's the reason that everybody wants left. It's a left-handed game. Always has been, and probably always will be. Miller can't get it. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Jacks it up.
Carson Smith, who has taken over as the closer, apparently deciding to put his own analgesic bomb on his shoulder. Have to call a trainer out to the bullpen.
Maybe a little capsule. That's out of play.
Those days were by the boards. That was one of the strongest.
That's not outlawed.
No. It's just the fact that it's.
That you can fry eggs on it?
It would probably be as strong as any analgesic you could possibly put on your arm.
Sandy Koufax, guys like Sam McDowell, they used to just bathe in that stuff, that left shoulder and that left elbow and that left arm.
I used it. It was great to pitch in Candlestick Park in the days when it was just freezing there. But, that being said, it was really warm.
Yeah. Line drive, that's a hang woofing for Miller. So Dan, with that good stuff of his, pitches out of it. And we'll go to the ninth. We need 2 to tie.
He's 1-5, but his ERA 2.86, on for the 54th time. 13 of 16 in save opportunities, with opponents hitting 192, which is a pretty good number. He's got a most unusual delivery, and that makes him awfully tough on the right-handers. Originally slated to be a setup man, but when Fernando Rodney really struggled, Smith has taken over, and he is a product of this Mariner system. 8th round draft pick is pretty much turned into gold for Smith. Wow. A beautiful shot.
Jim Angio, our director, says that the color is different because of the terrible wildfires in the forest. The reflection of that. Wow, that's a tragedy. Hundreds and hundreds of homes. And unfortunately some deaths. But right here, Javi Garcia will lead it off. He's grounded to third, grounded to short, and struck out. Smith, big guy, 6'6".
He is what they call a short armor, which makes it very difficult, especially on the right-handers, to pick up the baseball.
Well, his delivery
looks like
it's not a wrapper. We used to call it a hooker. When he gets up here and he hooks and delivers almost like you don't see that very often.
No.
That's softly hit, and it's foul. 6'6", 215 pounds.
Zunino was kind enough to take the bat, balance it on home plate, and get it ready for Robbie to come back.
Playing the game. They hit a foul ball like Ivy just did down the right field line. Got jammed. I was going to be close, so I'm walking back, and the catcher picks up. There's a base hit. That away. That's the way to start it off. So he picked up. He didn't put it on the end. He just picked it up. He was going to hand it to me. And I said, "Get your hands off my bat. The way you're swinging it, man." Okay. So here is JB hitting for Trace. Trace was 2 for 3 with a homer.
JB's done a pretty good job coming into pinch hit. 6 for 23 overall with 3 driven in as a pinch hitter. Not an easy job.
Well, you judge guys like JB, 4th outfielders, 5th infielders. Are they an asset or a liability? He's definitely an asset.
It's certainly been that, and that was a pretty good pitch. Gary Cederstrom gave JB the benefit of the doubt. On our Xfinity Speed replay, Trace Thompson, who was 2 for 3 in the second inning, lines one out of the ballpark. His second home run of the year, made it 1-0 at the time. The Speed replay is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
Two and one to count.
Smith attended Texas State University, same place that Paul Goldschmidt, the fine first baseman of the Diamondbacks, attended.
Ball gets away. could be a pass ball.
It looked to me like it was a pass ball. And that's exactly what it is. Puts Avi in a scoring position, takes away the double play out of the equation, and Zunino just missed it.
Whiffed on it. So here's the 3-1 count now. That's a nice. First 2 men aboard.
Joe McEwing now having a word with Alexi. And everybody, except for Logan Morrison, having a word with Smith. The tying runs aboard.
Looked a little breaking ball up there and grabbed the strike.
Nate Jones loosening in the pen.
And that evens the count. Another long look down at Joe. Outfield very deep, straight up and very spread out. And there's a base hit. They're going to wave Avi around. And it's a 3-2 ball game with 2 on and nobody out.
RBI number 46. And Alexi reaches out on this curveball and takes it right back up the middle. So nice job of making sure he protected the outside part of the plate. That'll bring up Carlos Sanchez,
who's 1 for 3, a double. He hit a bullet over the head, deep over the head, 1 hop over the fence in center field. Over the head of Austin Jackson. Corners in close. The bunt. Adam LaRoche on deck. And that'll get the job done. Beautiful bunt by Carlos. Now ducks on the pond, 1 out. Here comes Adam. Adam Eaton on deck. And here comes McClendon.
We saw Farquhar last night. He threw an inning, gave up a hit, and that was it. Boyd is going to stay with his closer.
anytime you have a closer by committee, you got a problem. Checks it up. Takes strike one.
They're back in the middle and back at first base. They're going to concede the run, which is a tying run. Make sure that two don't score.
So the tying run scores. Alexei in the third, two down, and here comes Adam.
Well, it is a good thing that the infield wasn't in, because I don't think there was any way for Shuck to score if Morrison was playing in at first. Morrison back, and Shuck with a very good start. He looks and then realizes he only has one play.
Going to the count. A 3-3 tie. 3-7-1 for us, 3-8-0 for them. And he just missed that one. Miller and Wright will make the catch, but we come up with a pair, and this game is tied at 3.
Couple of changes as J.B. Shuck, who came on to pinch hit, stays in the game in right field. Giovanni Soto goes in behind the plate as Tyler Flowers was taken down. And Nate Jones comes on for the 6th time. He's given up nothing. 8 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings and no earned runs.
1-0 the count. Zunino has grounded to third, struck out, and grounded out 3-1.
I would think he was looking inside for that one.
That's a Gary Sheffield type foul ball there.
It's the one where he gets out so far in front of it. This ball was so foul it was never fair.
And for all you youngsters out there, Gary Sheffield came up with Milwaukee, then played for several teams, and one of the best fastball hitters to ever play the game of baseball. That had a little piece of the inside corner, edge of the corner. Full count.
Zunino got his fastball down the middle and fouled it back. Trace Thompson had a big night. Tyler Flowers was on 3 times with a single and a couple of walks. Now the question for Lloyd McClendon is, do you pinch run for your slow running catcher?
Well, you got Marte, the leadoff man at the plate. He's a switch hitter. Then after him, he's going to be bunting. Then after him, you got Seager. Then you got Cruz. Then you got Cano. Marte has struck out, grounded to short, and he has walked twice. Patel Marte, 21-year-old switch-hitting shortstop.
High fastballs have a tendency to be popped up, especially by guys who don't bunt too often. And Marte has yet to have a successful sacrifice.
Jabs at it. And the count 0-1. Not a very good effort right there. Not a good technique is a better way to frame it.
With Tyler charging and Marte bunting seemingly to third, they might have a shot at it. Let's see if the lack of a pinch runner comes back to haunt Seattle. Turned out to be a very good bunt as he deadened it. It did not get out to Nate Jones in enough time to cut down Zunino at second.
So now here is Kyle Seager. Kyle 0 for 4 tonight. He is 0 for 8 in the series.
And for a guy with no sacrifices, that was pretty good execution because he did deaden the baseball just enough, almost beat the play at first, and now here comes Don Cooper. Find out what they want to do with Seager.
Well, Cruz is on deck. And then you got Cano behind him. So this is a rock in the hard place. Seager's a good player. He's not afraid to get a big base hit for you in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning.
Or the 14th inning.
He did that with a grand slam.
That game was one of the most unusual games anybody's ever seen because it never happened before.
Well, we scored 4 in the top of the
five.
In the top of the 14th, and then he tied it with a grand slam in the bottom of the 14th.
He came back with 5, something that had never happened before in any extra inning game. 10 runs, 5 equally divided in the 14th as the Seattle Moose getting apparently very excited.
That one at 90 had him way out in front. Kyle has faced Nate 3 times. He has 1 hit. Makes that one foul, and very quickly they count 0-2.
There's no way the ball's going to get between Abreu and the line, because he is over pretty close to it.
Better get back over there.
Well, he moved as soon as the ball was hit. He moved to his right a bit. Now he's moving back to his left.
The way you judge it is you got to, in your mind, if it's a first baseman, you got to judge this guy's best bolt. Can you get to it? That's how far you can play off the line, or how close you have to play to the line.
That particular swing by Seager was a good piece of defensive hitting, because he knew that one had the plate, and he just jabbed it over the dugout on the third base side.
Looks it back. He gone. Dig out, 2 down.
This one is way out of the zone. It's a slider. Seager, who's had a particularly bad couple of games, sees that continue, and a nice block by Giovanni, making sure that one didn't get away.
Well, for Kyle Seager to go 0 for 9 in the first 2 games is a big break for us. So here is Nelson. He's 1 for 3. Strikeout, a walk, a vicious double, and a ground out to second. He has faced Nate 1 time, and he's 0 for 1. That one at 98.
Cruz is a strong hitter, but getting up on top of 98 is not an easy thing to do. Nate Jones, he wants to make it happen right here with Cruz. He does not want to get to Cano.
Count evens at 2. So 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That face-high fastball would look pretty good about now.
There's a slider, and he gone. We're in extra innings, tied at 3.
especially when you're losing 3-1 heading into the bottom of the ninth, as Danny Farquhar comes in for the second time in as many nights. He's 0-3, his ERA 5.5, on for the 30th time, and he will forever be known as one of the guys traded from the Yankees to Seattle in exchange for Ichiro Suzuki back on July 23rd of 2012.
So extra innings, this is our 14th extra inning game. In the first 13, we are 10-3. We're 4-1 on the road and 6-2 at home. For the Mariners, this is their 20th extra inning game. They are 10-9. They're 4-5 at home and 6-4 on the road. Saladino 0-4 last time. Bullet right to Austin Jackson in center field. Now the Mariner outfield once again very deep and very spread out. Spaced about equidistant. Don't help him out.
With the heart of the order due up and the speed of Saladino, it would be nice to see him aboard.
All right, here going to take two. They'll have to. Good at leadoff walk.
4 straight bad ones, and none of them were very close.
Here's Abreu. He's due. 0-4, couple strikeouts, fly to center, and a line out to right. And he takes it right there. That one at 93.
Farquhar just barely hesitated. Certainly didn't appear to give the 1 second pause when he came to his set position.
Ball hit very hard, very foul. Breaking ball lays off of it, and the count 1-2. That ball hit hard. Stretch, stretch. It's off the bottom of the fence. So now they're going to hold Saladino as he slides in safe as second. Yes!
Jose just scalds this one. It's a fastball up and out over the plate. Goes right back to Miller, who gets it back in a hurry, and Jose almost gets thrown out at second base. I think he thought for a minute there like it was going out of the park.
He did.
Or he thought the play was going to be at third base. Either way, he was not going full bore into second.
I think he thought it was gone. So now they're going to walk Melky to load him up. Bobby Garcia on deck. Pitching coach Rick Waits, former Southpaw.
So they've had a very short conversation.
Ivy started off that 2-run ninth. We were down 3-1 if you're just tuning in, with a base hit. Infield in. Don't help him out. Let him squeeze. Outfield, they're shouting. And the count 2-0. He's got the catbird seat. Come on, Ivy.
Well, you see it a lot. You see the intentional walk and then the unintentional walk on the next hitter.
He's the one in trouble, Ivy, not you. That almost hit him.
Edgar Olmos loosening in the pen.
And that's ball 4. So here comes Saladino, who started this inning off with a walk, and it is 4-3 Sox, and here comes McClendon.
Well, we're seeing the biggest problem that the Mariners have had this year up close and personal, and that is the failure of the bullpen. The bullpen that was #1 in baseball last year has struggled all year long, and so far it's cost them the lead with bases loaded and nobody out as Farquhar departs, and we'll step out and be back after these messages. One and 2/3 innings, he's given up a hit. You're looking at the man that scored the go-ahead run, and the man to his left, Robin Ventura, hoping there's many more to come here in the top of the 10th.
What a joy Tyler Saladino has been since he's come to this ball club. So here's JB. He's been to the plate one time. That was last inning, and he walked. That was after Ivy led it off with a single. First pitch strike.
Infield in at all 4 positions, and the outfield very shallow. That one almost got a piece of it.
Big pitch right here. Just nips the outside corner. Now you got to grind.
JB did whatever he could do. It was a pretty good pitch. It was low and away. He got the bat on it, but with the infield in, it was the easy force out.
Well, you go to your go-to swing when you're 1-2, 0-2 in that situation where you got to make contact. All you can do is make contact, and then it is what it is.
Put in play and hope to find a little seam.
Yep. Here's Alexei, a big RBI single last inning. He's 1 for 4 in the game. That ball gets away.
That looks like it could be another pass ball. As Melky scores, and it's a 2-run lead. And that is indeed a pass ball.
So it's a 5-3 Sox lead.
Take another look. And Zunino once again just misses it to his left.
So 1-0. Two and 0. Carlos Sanchez on deck. It'll be an error. An error on Robinson Cano. That's the 6th. You don't see that very often. So that'll load him up.
Cano was looking at third and just lost the handle.
Carlos is 1 for 3, a double, and then last inning had a perfect sacrifice bunt. That's out of play right side. Talking to some Mariner people yesterday before the game, talking about their bullpen. So we touched on it yesterday and a lot tonight. They told me it's just been awful. And I said, well, last year was best in the American League. They said this year is the worst. And when your bullpen is awful, you're going to lose. It's just that simple. I don't care how many Nelson Cruz and Robinson Canoes you got in your lineup. You can't hit enough to overcome a bad bullpen. One and 2 the count. 6'4" southpaw. Out of Van Nuys, California. Home of former Sox broadcaster and Hall of Fame pitcher with the Dodgers, Don Drysdale, and also home of former Sox right-hander like Jack McDowell. They can't turn it. Another run scores, and it is 6-3.
That'll be a number 22 for Carlos, who did a nice job hustling down the line. It was a good play by Marte. But Avi scores, and 3 here in the 10th have made it, if not comfortable, certainly a nice lead as Cano tries to do the best he can, but can't get it done. Good play by Marte, very athletic. And that hustle up the line, got the run batted in.
Pick him up, Gio.
We love you, Marty.
Cavani making his first plate appearance. Tyler Flowers, 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Two out. Runners at the corners, 1-1 to count. 6-8-0 for us, 3-8-1 for them. We have scored 3 times, and all 3 of the runs walked in this inning. Saladino led it off with a walk. Brayu doubled. Cabrera intentionally walked. Avi walked. And they have crossed home plate. Got in, but Crooked number goes up on the board. We lead it 6-3.
Nate Jones would be the beneficiary because he would pick up the win as David looking for save number 25, and this is his 31st opportunity. Opponents still hitting under 200 against him. And he's got to face the middle of the Mariner order.
Former teammate of Robbie's, Robinson Cano, will lead it off. Cano is 3 for 4 tonight. Here we go. First pitch strike at 92. We have one home run tonight in this ball game, and that was by Trace Thompson in the second inning. One of the quicker home runs you will ever see leave a ballpark.
Trace made a pretty big ballpark look awfully small.
Jammed him. Fowler's not going to be able to get there. So the count 1-2.
That's a very nice hat. Apparently a birthday girl.
Pops him up. Malky comes on, makes the catch, and that is out number one. Here's Gutierrez. Franklin, he's 3 for 3 tonight. 2 singles, a 2-run double, a walk, and a run scored. Ball had a piece of the zone, and count 0-2. And that's also going to sound a big happy birthday, my buddy Darren Jackson. Ian Farmio, radio, did such a great job. The 1-2. Tyler's got him. 2 down. There's DJ and Farmio. So here's Austin Jackson. He's 2 for 4. Had a bunt single and an infield single. One and one to count. David trying to pick up his 25th save. 1-2 the count. He gone, and this ball game is over. So the Sox win the last one in Anaheim, come in here, win last night 11-4. Score 3 in the top of the 10th to win this one 6-3, and we'll be back.